let me review your account. Take a look at what you have. Like talk about your gear. Free to play since day one. No money. Casual also. We both on your casual. Of course. A stinky casual. You wanna be here in the like in the picture? Hey, what's good? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna review a casual player's account in Lost Ark. He started playing last year in February with the original release, and he has spent a grand total of 0 real money to boost up or gain any power for his characters. And I thought it would be interesting to see what is possible and what isn't possible when you're, first of all, casually playing, and by that I mean maybe an hour and a half every day, but also don't spend any real money at all. Maybe in a future video we're gonna take a look at a gigantic whales account so we can see the differences and the discrepancies in between how one looks and the other. This is his roster right here, a roster level of 107, absolutely no wallpapers to speak of. Yeah, no, there's literally nothing with the exception of the original Founders Pack. By the way, do you know how he got his original Founders Pack back in February? I gifted it to him. His roster of characters, one of them behind my cam right here, this is a level 12 sorceress, not important. Level 10 war dancer, he has level 30 DB for some unknown reason. And then the highest level characters are his Pally, 1358, the other sorcerers 1410, and his main character at 1568. Needless to say that he just does not play any alts, because this one's level 51 combat, this one's 53, so you can imagine it's just this and this character only. He did not use his Hyper Express, it's for free, don't ask me why, and he probably, yeah, he did not buy the premium membership with the premium track for the ARK pass either. Now, in terms of his character profile, we already discussed the roster level. This is considered as a low roster level. In terms of titles, like, see, these are like the two things that people already look at right here. Before you even get to engravings and gems, etc., you just judge someone based on these two. Now, titles, where are my titles? He does not have the title that's currently seeked as something really nice. This one, Phantom Legion Commander. This means that you've defeated Gate 5, or you've defeated the whole Belshazzar normal mode raid 10 times. This is something that he could potentially look at to improve his chances of being accepted into groups, but also the roster level is important. He has the item level to join even hard mode. He definitely has the item level to join normal mode, but he did tell me that he doesn't really get groups instantly when he applies to Belshazzar normal mode even. So a new title, that would do him very good at this stage, but also more roster level, which can easily be achieved even by a very casual player with his next vacation from work in the worst case scenario. He has the new tower to do, he can do the tower on his other lower sorcerers, he has the Rowan story, he could potentially actually use the Hyper Express on his other Sork and get to 1445, which will allow him to not only do the South Vern story, which I know he didn't do on that character, but also the Rowan story, and get quite a bunch of good item level or roster levels from there as well. His stats are quite clean, not the highest stats I've seen. However, looking in terms of weapon is at plus 17. He does have a full set of the new gear, so he did do Belshazzar normal mode, at least gates 1 to 4, enough times to get a new set. That's very nice because people care about this. He is also upgraded to level 2. People look at this as well, so he has done Cuckoo. Even though his roster level is like a new player's roster level, you can actually see that he's been playing for quite some time. Weapon as a casual player, I'm actually surprised that he even got to plus 17. Weapon honing is very expensive. He did reach his item level with honing his armor, which in hindsight is not the worst thing in the world, because, you know, honing your armor makes you a little bit stronger in terms of surviving. And now with Belshazzar's hard mode release, very many classes I've seen, they just die, right? They just take too much damage. Wow, that hit so hard. A little bit less on him. He also has pretty decent quality, right? In terms of engravings, he has went for a very bizarre combination of engravings with Reflux. Reflux
not necessarily the meta build for Sorg, but it works really well, so absolutely no problem with the Reflux. The only problem is that, at least for me personally, I don't see a Keen Blunt here, and I see a Stabilized Status. Unfortunately for him, I also see a Stabilized Status right at the top. So whenever I get to inspect him and go to engravings, the first thing I see is something that's questionable. Even though, you know, it's not the most horrific engraving, but you know, we could potentially replace Stabilized Status with Keen Blunt, right? So it can look more mainstream in the eyes of Billy and Bobby, who invite you to their groups for endgame content. This is not to flame him. He is actually finding groups, even for Belshazzar normal mode. For Cuckoo, he has like 25-minute groups because he knows how to play and he can join, you know, high item level groups. But just saying, for those of you who are watching this interested and you're new and you also want to play for free, you're also a casual player, you should maybe make slightly different decisions. Based on a little bit of advice, right? Next we have the gems. I see some 8s. I see some. Obviously, he didn't sell a single gem in his life. Everything that he gathered in the last 14 months, he put aside, and this is where he got to. He got to sort of almost half and half, 7s and 8s, which is very good. Even for Belshazzar hard mode, it's the same thing as 85-90% of the people are having and go with to farm even the today's endgame content, right? So he's doing good here. Yeah, in terms of cards, he's using the Lost Wind Cliff. He did not farm Seria himself. He probably just got lucky to get the right card, so he can actually even get to the crit rate. He did not do Solas runs either. Maybe that's why he has a DB at level 31. Light of Salvation progress for a casual player with no real money is at 7 awakenings. So we're looking pretty grim here. He could potentially get to 12 Light of Salvation, but you know, then it's not such a big gain anyway. This skin though, I mean, what are we looking at? We're looking at a Lawmaker skin. Can you believe it? A Lawmaker skin. I mean, no wonder you don't get invited into groups. You know, people actually look at how you look. If you look like super badass and cool and, you know, you're trendy in line with the fashion these days, then people tend to look at this. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a huge difference. I definitely would invite this person in my groups and just let them be MVP also, so I can see him even in larger resolution as well. We're looking at collectibles. How about this for a casual 1 hour a day player? 23 island souls. He most likely just wanted to get to 20 for the skill points, right? That's all. Yeah, that's all he needed basically. Giant hearts, 80%, for the exact same reason. After this, it's all undone because there's no need, right? If you don't have time, you just care about getting what's important, and this is a very good thing that he actually did, to only get what's important and to farm whatever gives your character more power and completes a character. The same thing with Omnium Stars, 5% Mokokos. What a casual this is. 0% Aigia tokens. He did get, though, again, all of the skill points. Does he have Islut? He has Islutera. He has Islutera at 70% just to get the skill point as well. Very well played. Very well played. Redeeming these things actually gives you roster level. So I might as well help him with a little bit. Look at this. He goes like two bars. I might as well help him with some roster level. Can we get him to 108 to fix his gatekeeping problem? Let's take a look. Here he redeemed. Tortoik, okay, we have a little bit here. And then lastly, Anika, this should boost us up. 108 roster level, boys. Gatekeeping problem solved. What about the runes and skill tripods? Very curious. He does have some, yeah, he does have some decent runes. Of course, he's missing a lot of runes. He cannot just go crazy with different builds and different classes. But he does have some of the important runes. He does have them. Also, skill tripods. We're looking at 5-5. More 5s here. What else do we have? We have 4. We have 4s and 5s. Yep, 4s and 5s. What he does on a daily basis is daily quests, Chaos Dungeons, and Guardian raids. That's it. And then, of course, he does the weekly Legion raids that he has access to. With a little bit of luck in getting some money to change his engravings a bit and also a vacation from work, he could potentially get to a point where even I would look at him and or his character profile if he would be a stranger and be like, okay, that's decent. I would consider playing with this guy, Belshazzar normal mode at least, even hard mode, gate 1 to 2, why not? I would like to give him a series of 3 claps simply because it shows that it is possible. If he would be in a guild or some sort of a pre-made, which is something that I highly encourage those of you who are new or who have a low roster level or not all of the titles yet, definitely join a guild or make some friends in game so you can play content with them, because they get to know you, they would get to know that he's not a failure, and he would even be able to play the most recent content, which is Belshazzar hard mode, up until gate 4 without any problem if he would actually have a bunch of friends around him or a guild, an active guild. I hope that this video served any sort of purpose for those of you who are interested in if it's possible to do it for free. How much can you get? What can you get? That's the end of the video. I wish you have a great time in Lost Ark. I'm gonna see you either here on my YouTube channel with my next video or over on my live stream, twitch.tv/SaivoSan. Come hang out. I stream every week there. And until next time, I wish you all the best. Take care and see you really soon.